All right, guys, and thank you guys for waiting so much. We appreciate the extra patience there. Rom had to take a quick break, but he is back in. So we are going to go into the map. Right now, we're going to have 55 Hit Monks and TCG in our semifinal match. The match that we called earlier was actually just a quarterfinal match. So we're into the semifinals now. We're going to go ahead and go into the map right away so we can get this match started for you guys as quickly as possible. But here we go, 55 Hit Monks versus TCG. So, Christian, why don't you go ahead and take us away. Go ahead and get started on going over the builds.
We're just going to jump right through this stuff right now. Denchi running the same build as before. Typical DD Ellie. He's going to be running standard stuff. Holbreck Rune, Celestial Amulet. We're used to seeing this 00266. Moving on to Lord Helseth. Helseth's going to be playing the same build he's running before. Actually, he switched it up. He's going to be running Sword Torch now. He's going to be running Runes of the Traveler, and it's still going to be Shatter. However, he opted out of the Torch trait, removing conditions. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. He's going to be using that for the stealth as well as the setup there. Sizer's going to be playing with him again. He's going to be using the same build as before. He's going to be running Sword Dagger 20066. Moving on to Tage now. Tage is going to be running the same build as before as well. He's going to be running Mace Focus Staff with the Soldier Runes, Cleric Amulet, and Full Shouts build running 01661. Next we got Rom. Rom's actually on a different character right now, but he's going to be running the same build as before here. However, he opted out of the Rampage, and he grabbed the battle standard for this match. Obviously, he feels that his team may, in fact, need it versus a very strong 55 HP Monks team. He's going with the Fear Me this time over the Balance Stance. Moving over to Eternia from 55 HP Monks, going to be running the same build as before as well. He's going to be running Staff Elementalist. He's going to be running with Doliac Runes and Celestial Amulet, the traits being 00266. Next up, we got Misha. Misha running the same build as before as well. Great Sword Staff, Shatter with Traveler Runes. He's going to be doing the same thing as Helseth, portaling his team around, making sure they get the burst damage down on the enemy team, and doing a lot of AoE pressure so that they can get those points for their team. Now next we got Scarlet's. Scarlet's is going to be playing that rifle build that we saw earlier with Celestial Amulet and Holbreck Runes. He's going to be running 60062, a lot of knockbacks there. Good point control coming from this player here. Chosen Pain is up next. He's going to be playing Thief. Same build as we saw him before. Dagger Pistol coming out with the Pack Runes. Berserker Amulet. The traits being 60206. It's Panic Strike, remember. As soon as he gets that target under 50% health, it's going to be pretty much a free kill if he's running with Misha at that point because of that Immobilize that comes out. Last but not least, we got Icy here. We've got the same build that actually we see Tage running. It's going to be Mace Focus Staff with the Full Soldier runes with the Shouts build. Cleric Amulet here, the traits being 01661. So without further ado, let's get these players ready and into the next match.
All right, again, guys, this is 4, so you've got the bosses in the left and right-hand corners of the map that will spawn every 2 minutes, giving you a buff, but also giving you 25 points for your team. That comes up in really close games. If games are coming down to the wire, it could come down to a boss kill. But the points, too, are in the shape of a triangle, so it's very easy to get to that far node on the break. So you're going to see here, red team is going to push hard for the Henge, sending 3 members over there. Their Thief, their Elementalist, and their Engie. They're going to be running into Rom from TCG. Going to be interesting to see if Tage comes back and helps. It looks like he will, so we're going to see Tage and Rom trying to hold off in a 2v3 over on the Henge node. 55 Hit Monks, though, did not cap their close node at all, and nobody went for it. Mine is completely empty right now. Nobody has gone for mine in the beginning of this game, as both teams are going to be fighting for Henge and the midpoint there on keep. I'm just not sure why you wouldn't at least send one person to the close node. It might have been a miscommunication there coming out for 55 Hit Monks. A big mistake, as they could have gained some points early, but it looks like Misha had just decided to bypass mine completely. He's portaled, though, back over to the mine to finally cap that for his team, so he realized the quick mistake there. But that's going to pull Misha out of the fight at mid, where it looks like it might be going in favor of TCG right now. That's the fight in your up in the left-hand corner of the screen right now that we've just switched into. We see Lord Helseth having to stay alive here off of point, trying to put some damage down. The Moa did come out from Lord Helseth onto the Staff Ellie. That's a great decision there by Helseth to try to take that Staff Ellie out, but not enough damage is going to come out onto him. So 55 hit Monks is going to be okay here on the keep point. At the same time, TCG was finally able to win the control of that hinge point as well. Great job by Rom and Tage working together to kind of hold off that strong push by 55 hit Monks there. Christian, that was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indeed absolutely fantastic. But we see here with 1-1 split here happening from this right now, we see Keep being the absolute pillar of what's going to be going on for the rest of this match, for the next few minutes at least. Eternia holding that point against Tage right now, doing a great job of making sure that they hold that point, making that decap still happen so that they can secure and hold that lead, that 15-point lead that they've got right now.
Yeah, and Sizer, it looks like, took a portal out of mine, and he's gone right back into it, into a 1v1 here on mine, trying to get a decap. He's going to put Scarlets in a really bad spot here, less than quarter health, though, but it looks like Sizer's not going to want to take that 1v1 fight for very long. He's going to back out, it looks like, as Chosen Pain for 55 hit has come back over to support Scarlet over there on the mine node, so Sizer just not able to get a decap off for his team. We see Rom now coming into mid, trying to make a difference there to add his support and some longbow damage there, some extra burns for his teammate. As Misha has gone into the downstate. Let's see if TCG is able to cleave him out, as Chosen Pain is also very low here on the keep point. Misha in full dead now, completely cleaved out by TCG. That's going to be a huge advantage for TCG, because that removes a good portion of 55 hits damage there. But again, that Staff Ellie for 55 just doing a great job staying on point, not eating too much damage there. TCG, though, is the only team with a cap point, as Sizer did a good job sliding over and decapping that for his teammates. That's going to take a while for 55 hit to recap, so it's allowed TCG to come back into this game, as they were the only team with a cap node there. So, you know, early stages of the map have gone by. We see both teams, neither team has been able to get an advantage here. Both teams are tied up at 79 points apiece. Really, it's going to come down to who wins keep here, and to determine who's going to gain the early advantage.
And you know, this was an interesting start from 55 HP Monks. You know, they slid out. They didn't actually go for their own home point. I believe what happened was Misha actually laid down a portal, and what they did was actually kind of smart, in my opinion, because what they did is they know that TCG is a team that doesn't want to push far point in the beginning. They want to control those two nodes and put down a lot of pressure so they can get those 2 points early and control the advantage. And what Misha did was he went right back, got that point, and made sure that they got that. But it was a great team fight before that, so that they made sure they didn't have a 2-cap situation happening against them.
See, I don't know. I think 55 kind of botched the beginning of this game, because they pushed 3 over to Hench, but they're not able to win that 3v2 against Tage and Rom. Rom and Tage did a great job keeping the Hench node and eventually forcing 55 hit to push back from that node that they had committed 3 players to. At the same time, Misha did drop a portal there. That was a smart play. I think he did that because he was anticipating somebody pushing over at mine from TCG, but TCG didn't go, and he was kind of slow getting back over to the mine. It was uncapped for several moments there. You know, where every point counts in a very close game between 2 top teams of EU, you're really going to have to just play a little smarter. I think Misha gave up some points there that he could have gotten for his team if he had gotten back to mine in a hurry and realized or communicated with his teammates just a little bit better, and realized that nobody from TCG had crossed over onto mine at the beginning stages. So Sizer has been doing a great job now getting some decaps, or at least putting some pressure onto the mine. You got to give Sizer a lot of credit for what he does for TCG there, as he got them back into the game with a good decap on mine earlier, and now he's constantly putting pressure, and that threat of Sizer possibly sliding over has really kept the engineer for 55 hit Monks out of this mid fight, where TCG just hasn't been able to gain that clear of an advantage yet, but it looks like they might be able to do so now as they've managed to get Misha full dead and on respawn, and now they're putting a lot of pressure on that Staff Ellie for 55 hit Monks. He's just gone into the downstate now. This is big. If they're able to take him out, they're going to win this point, and they do, it looks like. But no, here comes the Guardian for 55 hit Monks. Let's see if he's going to get the res. That knockback coming out from the trait. Great move there, but a lot of cleave comes down from Lord Helseth. And no, he's able to get him up despite that incredible amount of cleave from Helseth. That's a great move by 55 hit Monks, keeping that point in contention.
And now Tage and Denchi both slide in as well, with Misha going in for 55 HP Monks, and Helseth is just trying to save his own life. The portal comes out, but not quick enough on that. Chosen actually gets him dropped, and it looks like he's going to potentially be going full down. However, Helseth does get up with his members of his team helping him out now. So everybody's going to be sliding right up to keep, and it looks like with Scarlet's moving over there as well, with Sizer not really being able to get the back cap because he's being sort of zoned out here by Chosen and Scarlet's, it looks like this keep fight is going to be everything for the next couple of minutes here.
Yeah, you know what? And you've just seen now Scarlet moving up into keep. Again, I think it's the threat of Sizer. And there Sizer goes. He's going right for the back cap right away. Nobody from the red team, it looks like, has seen him. Nope. Here comes Chosen Pain chasing after him. Again, Sizer, the second he gets an opening, he's going to go for that back cap. He's doing a great job as the thief for TCG, like he always does, trying to put some pressure on that back node and pull members of the red team. He's now pulled a second member back, it looks like. Yes, Scarlet's gone back too. Misha, in the meantime, has gone into a downstate at mid. This game, the story of this game, in my opinion, really has been Sizer's ability to put some pressure on the back node of 55 hit Monks, keeping Scarlet's from really being able to join the mid fight. But at the same time, you know, if you're TCG, you would have liked to have taken advantage of Scarlet basically being out of the fight most of the game and bring some more pain down on some of these members of 55 hit Monks that are fighting here on keep. You see a lot of pressure going out on that Staff Ellie again, but he's able to mitigate that with some incredible amount of healing and some support from his Guardian. So they're just not able to get a member down yet, despite doing a great job putting back point pressure whenever they get an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and the thing with Staff Ellie is that there's a decent amount of CC, so he's going to be able to protect himself against both Sizer and Lord Helseth with their lack of stability. And now with Chosen Pain going down, it looks like if they can get Helseth down, they might stalemate this, but with Helseth now getting off his heel, it looks like they're not going to be comfortable enough to hold this point for too much longer if they can get some burst damage onto Eternia. But Eternia doing a great job of sustaining, standing right next to Tage. It looks like they're just going to kind of bunker battle it out, try to control the node. But there's the Moa that comes out onto Eternia, and if he can't cast spells, then he's a sitting duck right now, and it looks like he might actually wait this out, and he's going to be at full health and getting back onto the node. You know, it was a great job there coming from the Guardian from 55 HP Monks, doing a great job of coming in, sliding in for his spot, and controlling that node to make sure that it doesn't go into the favor of TCG, because again, once one of these teams gets this node, it's going to be really tough to take it back.
You know, Chosen Pain is doing something that I would have liked to have seen him do a little bit earlier, is try to get over to Henge and put some pressure on that node. He's in a 1v1 right now against Sizer, and it looks like he's getting the better of Sizer, really training him down and bringing him into the downstate here. Actually, that must have been muscle memory going in there for the blinding power. No, he's actually going to use that to get a stealth stomp. Great job there by Chosen Pain, taking out Sizer. That's going to leave him wide open to try to go get a decap. Rom, though, sees it, communicated well with Sizer, it looks like, so he's going to slide over to try to prevent that. Let's see if Chosen Pain's going to get the decap. He is. This is a great opening for 55 hit Monks, as it's going to take some time for Rom to recap that point for his team, especially if Chosen Pain decides to stay and troll around a little bit here, which he is going to do so. So we're going to see 55 hit Monks get back into this game with some great play from Chosen Pain, taking out Sizer and then doing a great job holding him out against a 1v1, now a 2v1 on Henge point. It looks like Chosen Pain might want to back out here, but no, he's going to get some help from some of his teammates as the fight has moved over to Henge. So this really turn of events here has moved the fight from Keep, where we see just now Denchi going 1v1 against what looks to be Tage here on the midpoint, with everybody else sliding over to either fight on Henge or fight just a little off of Keep right now.
Yeah, and Eternia decides he's going to move off, let Chosen Pain hold those last couple of ticks for just a little bit longer. Rom moving back now, and Sizer's moving over now towards mine. Scarlet kind of, I think, sees it or notices that it's potentially going to happen, so he moves over to kind of zone him out. So then here we go again, another keep fight, another big engagement that could potentially sway what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. Scarlet is trying to look for an opening to get over there, but if you can see in the bottom corner of your screen, Chosen is actually doing a great job. He might actually move over for that back cap. I think he's just trying to peek around, see if it's good. He actually jumps on Sizer there. You can see on the minimap he's doing that right now.
Yeah, and on Keep, we just saw Misha getting taken out by Sizer really quickly. Sizer, just snuck up behind him there, put a lot of pain down on him, taking Misha out once again. Misha just not been able to get anything going in this match for himself and for his teammates there, and that's a lot of his damage just being canceled out on Keep. I think that's why 55 just hasn't ever seemed to be able to get an advantage here on Keep. All the brief moments of advantage on this main node, on this mid-fight, have seemed to go to TCG. TCG just been able to take out a couple more members of 55 hit faster. But right now, really, the story is that great play from Sizer, getting decaps, and that one brief moment for Chosen Pain here. This is a very close game going into the late stages, and now we've got to ask ourselves, when do the bosses come into play? As we see, Spawnier is spawned. He's in the right-hand corner. Chosen Pain hasn't gone for him yet. He's just sort of hanging out by the mine. It's going to be interesting to see what Chosen Pain chooses to do, but he's got to intercept Sizer here, and he does. Sizer's not going to be able to get the decap on mine. Denchi has been mowed, but survives that pretty easily. Tage goes into the downstate. Let's see if Denchi's going to be able to get him back up, as it looks like he's not going to be able to do so. That's a huge loss for TCG, as Tage has been taken out of the fight on Keep. This could be the moment that 55 hit has been waiting for, as Misha's finally gotten some offense going, getting that Moa out on Denchi so he couldn't peel for Tage effectively and get some healing off, but it just looks like 55 hasn't been able to take advantage, as there's still two members of TCG hanging out on Keep, and they haven't really had too much pressure put down on them yet.
And this is the kind of advantage that we were looking to see from the members of 55 HP Monks that we were just talking about a minute ago. And Chosen Pain really doing a great job of making sure that Sizer can't get those free back caps, sorry there, and it actually is turning out that Sizer's been kind of canceled out this match, with Chosen doing a great job of just kind of making sure that he puts some pressure on Sizer in those 1v1 scenarios. However, if we look over at Keep right now, the Guardian from 55 HP Monks actually gets stomped out, but just in time. It looks like Eternia was able to move over and stalemate that point, but now with only a minute left, and there's the boss kill coming out for 55 HP Monks. That could potentially be what could be the decider of this game here. If Eternia can stay alive for just a little bit longer, it's just 1 minute left in this game. All he has to do is make sure that he keeps that point neutralized and makes sure that potentially he can take out Helseth and get that kill, or just keep that point neutralized long enough that that could potentially give them the win. That was an interesting moment there. Was Helseth was going for a portal stomp back at mine, but he decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay here and help take out Eternia. Great decision by Helseth there. Some incredible play where he just cancels that stomp. He was going to try to, like I said, get a portal stomp on mine, but he decides, you know what, I'm going to just stay here and take out Eternia instead. That's more important for my team. That's a great decision by Helseth, as it looks like they might be able to finally get that keep node, but no, the Guardian for 55 has gotten on there momentarily, but he's going to eat a lot of damage from Lord Helseth. If you are TCG, you've got to try to bring down this Guardian quickly and get control of this node so you can win the match, and it looks like they're able to do so. This is huge for TCG. But
Lord
not
Helseth.
Not enough time. There's the timer that oh, the kill actually does happen. It just in time. Won by 473 by 472. The last second possible, they got the kill to take that into their. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I was so busy focusing on just getting down that Guardian and winning the point. I didn't even realize the match was coming so close to timer there. Absolutely incredible job getting that kill at the last possible second. Absolutely incredible job. TCG taking that just at the last possible moment. Great play by both of these teams. What a great match. We're going to go ahead and go straight into the second second map there in a second. We're just waiting for it to load. But wow, what a great game. We saw a lot of great plays coming out from Sizer early on with the decap, then Chosen Pain taking out Sizer there on that by that henge node, getting the decap, flipping the point over for 55 Hit Monks, and it looked like 55 Hit Monks was going to take the match with that late boss kill and that securing the mine node, but just the Guardian for 55 Hit Monks dying at the last possible second. Absolutely great play by TCG there at the end to secure that 1-0, and now we're going to go into Legacy of the Faux Fire, where we might see another hype match coming out from both of these teams. Some great technical play again. Should be interesting to see here. Let's go ahead and get these guys readied up and see what they're able to do in this next match moving forward.
Yeah, and we talked about it a couple of matches ago, actually, that, with a timer, it creeps up on you. You don't expect it coming until it's right there in front of you, and that's when those kind of things happen. 1-point victory by a last-second kill, that's something that I bet that Guardian is absolutely mad at himself right now. It could have been the difference of just staying alive one more second, but if you look at him, if you looked at his skills, as soon as he went down, he had nothing available for him. The endurance was low. Renewed focus was still 5 seconds off. Shelter was just used. He had no shouts. He had virtually no virtues at all. He had nothing to save him from what happened. The only thing he could have done is gotten completely lucky that no crits happened in that span of time. But unfortunately, he did go down, and he did give that win to TCG with that, just timing. It all came down to timing.
Your
that was
55
a close
Hit
match.
Monks, you've got a 4-point lead going in the final seconds, and that kill just gives 5 points to TCG. Absolutely incredible. So great stuff, again, coming in that last map. We're going to go ahead and get these guys readied up as quickly as we possibly can and get this match started for you. Just remember on Legacy of the Faux Fire, the point in the center is huge. Once again, guys, if you're just joining us and you don't know anything about Guild Wars PvP or this map, the graveyard point in the middle of the map is a much bigger point than the side nodes. Waterfall and Quarry are smaller points. So graveyard takes a while to full cap because it's easier to get on that node for your team. And then once you have that point for your team, it's a lot harder for the other team to decap it because of the point being so big. So really the midpoint is an important point on the map, but it takes a long time to cap in favor of your team because of that. Each team also will have a Guild Lord. The Guild Lord in the upper right hand and bottom left hand corner of the screen. It awards you 150 points if you kill that Guild Lord, but it takes a lot of time to bring down that gate and get past the guards, especially if you're only going with 1 or 2 members. So really, you don't want to push for that unless it's going to get you that instant win, or unless you're trying to pull back members of the other team. But you'll see that Lord come into play when teams reach around the 350 mark, as they're going to go for that instant win when they gain that 150 points. So we've got both teams just, again, waiting on everybody to ready up here, as it looks like 55 Hit Monks is just sort of waiting for a chance. Just waiting for a chance to resolve just a quick issue that they're having. So 55 Hit Monks, it looks like, is just taking a break. They haven't readied up yet. But once they have, we're going to get this match started.
Yeah, and looking back at the last match, actually, we can see now, looking over at our replay here in the booth, we can see that what actually happened was Misha actually was the one that went down. So it could have been real close. We saw the Guardian downstated. He was really low, within 20% of his downstate, going to potentially go full dead, and he did later on after the match actually ended. But it was actually Misha that died in the last second there. Wow. That's it's just one of those things where a couple of different cooldowns used, that could have been the difference of losing and winning that match. That's big. That's big.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Like I said, that last match, that was a great game for the viewers to watch. But like I said, I'm excited. This is just the semifinal too, so we've got the final after this. So if you haven't already, go over to ESL.com and check out the bracket and look at that other semifinal game, and we'll find out very soon who's going to be playing in the finals, who's going to face the winner of this match for a chance of $400 €400 actually. Again, a good couple of games here as we hit the home stretch. But this match is finally going to start soon. So they've readied up. They're going to go back into their bases and get started here. Let's go ahead and see how they split. Again, normally you see both teams just sending about one person to the graveyard, maybe two, as they try to focus on securing a side node first. They'll probably send, both teams will probably push the far node pretty heavily, as it's just a common thing to do here right now. And it looks like 55 Hitmonks is going to do that. They're going to send 3 members of their team. Well, actually, just the Elementalist is rotated over there. There we go. The stealth play coming out from both the Mesmer and the Thief, putting some extra damage down momentarily on that member of blue team that's hanging out there. That's Rom on the waterfall point. Sizer, though, has slid over to try to help, but Sizer's decided, you know what, I'm not going to eat that AoE. I'm going to try to get out of there. Rom going into the downstate, and a quick stop comes out from Internia. So 55 hit monks, it looks like, is getting the upper hand here on the waterfall point. But Tage has slid over, so has Lord Helseth. So we're going to see Sizer and Lord Helseth put a lot of damage down on Chosen Pain. Chosen Pain's going to have to try to rotate out of there. Tage doing a great job, though, standing on point, keeping that point neutral. And Internia doing the same thing for his team, as they're both trying to help, both trying to support their teammates while standing right next to each other, not hitting each other, though, both trying to support their teammates that are fighting far off node. Helseth needed a couple peels from his teammate as he was getting focused down here. Sizer doing a great job trying to put out punishment for his teammate there. But Misha going into the downstate momentarily and getting stomped out very quickly without any assistance able to come out for his team. Lord Helseth has gone into the downstate, but Sizer was able to pick him back up. Great job by TCG getting on Lord Helseth quickly and bringing him back up into the fight, so they're able to get some more damage out onto Chosen Pain now, who's gone into the downstate as well. Looks like they're going to be able to cleave Chosen Pain out, as Internia just wasn't able to get over there in time and would just have eaten a lot of AoE. So it looks like this fight is going to now go in the favor of TCG, as they've slid over to help their teammates. At the same time, though, 55 hit monks was able to take Corey without too much opposition, so they've been able to build a lead as this fight has gone on, despite all of the kills coming out from TCG. So again, great play from TCG to slide over and help their close node, but now the focus really has to turn to the graveyard, where you see Denchi has been put under a lot of pressure. Tage has gotten there in time to help him, though, so Denchi's going to be able to get back up to full health, or near full health. At the same time, Lord Helseth is going to be looking to try to put some more pain onto Chosen Pain, the Thief, for 55 hit monks. They've been able to force him off node, and now is just the Guardian for 55 hit monks, trying to hold out until help arrives here on the graveyard. But it's going to be a long time until we see one team actually bring down the opposing team here on this node and gain security of this graveyard point. As it's, again, like I said, really easy for both teams to just sort of hop on this point and troll it and keep it neutral for as long as possible.
Yeah, I personally don't see anything happening at Graveyard for the next couple of minutes. You know, we saw it in the last few games with both of these teams being involved in those. It's going to be a situation where, now we see Denchi going into the downstate, potentially setting up some good status for 55 HP monks to actually set up some more damage on him. And now Denchi is being dropped again from that from the vapor form, and Denchi got his team a little bit pressured there when they tried to get him back up. But this is what we were talking about, you know, with both of these teams being able to sustain those big bombs, those big damage spikes that come out, those big AoE crits that come out as well. You know, they're able to sustain those. This fight is not going to be changing and shifting at any point soon, in my opinion. Misha downstated now. Misha is going to get back up from his teammates, picking him up, and now with 55 HP monks with that single cap there, it looks like they're going to get a little bit of a lead. But now the 1v1 happening at Waterfall here, this could potentially, now with 2 members of 55 HP monks sliding over to that fight, they're going to just push him off of that node there and save Waterfall from being capped. So they're going to get that lead, control it for a little bit, gain some points in their favor.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great job by 55 Hitmonks getting the decap over on the Waterfall, extending their lead even further here. TCG just not able, despite all that incredible amount of burst coming out from Lord Helseth, not able to secure the graveyard. And at the same time, they've lost control of their home node, so they don't have a point right now. Somebody's going to have to either slide over and try to back cap, which it seems like Sizer hasn't been able to do yet, or get get a quick kill on either Waterfall and Graveyard and try to secure that node. And it looks like Helseth has decided to slide over to the Waterfall, try to get that fight in favor of his team, where Rom has been holding out this whole time in a 1v1 against Eternia. There you go, the burst coming out from Lord Helseth. Eternia, though, able to avoid it pretty well, as we see Eternia doing a great job holding out now against 2 members, and even just 2 members right now of the blue team of TCG. But there you go, here comes out the huge amount of burst from Lord Helseth, putting Eternia into the downstate. That's going to secure the node again for TCG. But again, just so long there without having a node really hurt TCG, as 55 hit Monks has just been able to take down Denshi on that midpoint, leaving just Tage to be the main tank on that point or on that node, and he's going down in a hurry as Misha and Chosen put a lot of pain down on Tage. Lord Helseth's going to try to go in and force them to back off of Tage, but not in time, as Tage is going to be cleaved out or stomped out and put on respawn. So again, a huge advantage there for 55 hit Monks if they're able to capitalize. If they've taken out both Denshi and Tage on that midpoint, now they put a lot of pressure on Lord Helseth. Lord Helseth doing a great job staying alive, though, and reversing it back onto Misha. But gosh, great stuff coming out from both teams. But once again, we've seen a decap come out over onto the Waterfall. 55 just being able to get the decaps this game, and we haven't seen Sizer do what he did last game, which has put some pressure on 55 hit Monk's home node.
Yeah, and Chosen Pain doing a great job, as he did last game, making sure that Sizer isn't able to do the things that Sizer does. He's doing a great job of just zoning Sizer out of those points and making sure that his team holds those caps. Now with this 1v1 happening, it looks like Chosen might actually be dropped this time in this 1v1, but we'll have to see what happens as that fight unfolds. But now with midpoint here, we can see that if they can push Tage off for just 2 or 3 seconds, they're going to actually cap Graveyard in their favor. And with the lead that they've accumulated over the course of this match, now with over a 130-point lead now, with only 8 minutes left in the game, this is devastating for TCG. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back unless something incredible happens in their favor, where they're able to turn the tides and potentially help Sizer get Waterfall and control these side nodes.
Realizing that his team needed some momentum, Helseth has slid over to the quarry, and Misha, though, has intercepted him, so we have just a Mesmer versus Mesmer 1v1 developing over there right now. So we have Waterfall, Eternia doing a great job holding that, with Chosen Pain helping him with facing off against Rom and Sizer there. Whoever wins this is going to gain some momentum, but the real story is Misha was able to hold off Lord Helseth over on that quarry node, keeping that point in favor of 55 hit Monks momentarily. But Lord Helseth is going to slide over to the quarry. If you look at their map in the bottom right-hand corner, he might be able to get the decap off in time. That is huge, because that's going to keep his team into the game. At the same time, Eternia has gone into the downstate over at Waterfall. That's going to end the 2v2 as Rom stops him out. So we've had a flip here in points, as it looks like Rom is going to cap the Waterfall momentarily, and now we have a team fight developing over on Quarry, while Helseth was able to get that decap. Misha is very low, not able to sustain himself much longer without any help. Scarlets has come over trying to help in that team fight. So whoever wins this is going to gain an advantage. If TCG can take this, they might be able to come back here.
Yeah, and Misha now in the downstate, just waiting to use that 2 skill again as soon as he can, because he knows that he's going to be cleaved a little bit, so he needs that reposition. But with the knockback there, that might be enough to hold him out. So he's going to be dropped out here. Chosen taking a lot of damage, a little bit off point. He's dropped really, really low with Sizer right on his tail. This is the turning point. If TCG is going to have a turning point, this is it right here. They need to capitalize. They have Waterfall. They have a 2v1 situation happening right now on the Guardian for 55 HP Monks at Graveyard. If they can get that decap, if they can hold that Waterfall point, if they can zone out Chosen Pain from getting the decap, doing some of the things that we're used to seeing Sizer do with that Sword Dagger build, they could potentially turn this around. But now Eternia is dropped out right now, and he's sitting there on Quarry in the minecart now, dropped in downstate, and he's going to be actually rezzed up. A fantastic job by 55 HP Monks. getting that res out for their team, and now he's back up to provide some CC and a little bit of damage pressure and some support, and now that's just good enough to get Sizer down, and they're going to try to put a lot of damage pressure down to make sure that goes full dead, and they do put enough pressure down, and they do indeed, and now Denchi and Tage are both low as well.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great job cleaving out Sizer by 55 hit monks. That might actually give them the point here, as they've also brought Denchi into the downstate. Denchi and Tage just ate a lot of AoE cleave while they were trying to bring up their teammate. Tage was able to heal himself, but the 55 hit monks were able to get on Denchi. It looks like, though, Denchi might have been rezzed by a member of TCG, and it looks like he has been, so that's going to be beneficial for his team. But, you know, Corey is so close to being capped for the red team. Their blue team's going to have to be very careful here. Actually, it has been capped now for the red team. So, you know, 55 hit monks has averted disaster here. They're bringing down Tage as well. Looks like they've stopped the TCG push at 177 points for TCG, but 274 55 hit monks, and they've secured the Corey node. So that brief momentary push by TCG, bringing the game close again, was fantastic. But, you know, they had to win that Corey node in order to gain the lead back, and they just were not able to do that. With Sizer being taken out, Denchi put in the downstate temporarily, just didn't work out for TCG there. Now they're going to have to make a move there, as Waterfall has been decapped again. It looks like Rom has gone back to recap that, but with the decap there on Waterfall, that's not good. So Sizer's going to have to slide over to Corey, and he does. We see Denchi sliding over there right now to try to help him, but Misha is already there, and it looks like Scarlet's is as well. So it's going to be a 2v2 for Corey. If TCG is going to be able to take this, they might be able to get back into the game, as they've brought Misha into the downstate, but Chosen Pain has brought the pain onto the Sizer. Sizer's now into the downstate. It's going to be a race to see who can get Misha back up before Sizer is able to get res, but nobody's gone to res Sizer. Sizer's been cleaved out, which brought Misha back in into the fight, which is going to secure that node, it looks like, for 55 hit monks again. So two big pushes for the Corey node to try to flip this game around has failed for TCG, as now we see Denchi going into the downstate here. They're at 350 points, 55 hit monks. Do you go Lord here, or do you just try to keep rolling?
You know, I would probably keep rolling. They have the 2-cap advantage. TCG is a good enough team that they're going to be able to notice that and cover potentially. You don't want to make the mistake of leaving Sizer to decap all your points while you lose a Lord push. You want to make sure that you control these two nodes, because you have players like Eternia, you have players like Lissy, to be able to sit there and make sure that you guys hold those points. That's going to be imperative going forward.
Yeah, and Chosen Pain has just been cleaved out, so it looks like TCG is going to try to make another push for that Corey node. They really need to get it this time. I mean, I just can't emphasize that enough. They've already decapped it, so that stopped the bleeding, but you've got to win this fight, and you've got to try to full cap. This is your last chance of getting into this game, because, you know, you're not going to decap Graveyard at this point. You're just not, unless 55 hit monks makes a mistake and doesn't rotate correctly. So you're going to have to try to win this side node. Looks like Lord Helseth is portaling back and forth between Corey and the Graveyard, trying to pick the right fight to stay in. He's decided to stay on Graveyard now, as Sizer is also putting a lot of damage onto Eternia, but Eternia has just done a great job staying alive. They've now refocused onto Misha. Misha doing a great job kiting, though, with his greatsword, putting a lot of damage down onto TCG. So again, oh, but there goes Misha into the downstate. Lord Helseth going for the stop. He's going to cancel that as Misha blinks away. He's going to try to find Misha and get the stomp out this time, and he does. Absolutely fantastic job there. Now Lord Helseth is going to go try to help at Corey. This could be the moment they need to get back into this game, as they need to bring down Scarlet's quickly. Both Rom and Helseth going for this, trying to bring down Scarlet. Scarlet doing a great job staying alive here until his Guardian is able to get back onto the point. Lord Helseth is going to focus on Scarlet, though, trying to bring him down, knowing that that's the main damage source for 55 hit monks on this point. He's just not able to do so, though, as Scarlet's done a great job denying line of sight to Lord Helseth. Lord Helseth is going to slide now over to Graveyard, trying to bring down Eternia, but Eternia, again, just doing enough to just stay alive and keep this point in contention for his team. He cannot die here until somebody comes over. Chosen Pain has slid over from the waterfall for his team to try to help Eternia. So has Misha. Misha has come over, so it looks like Graveyard again is going to be secure for 55 hit monks. I just don't see them be able to get back in this game if you're TCG.
Eternia cycling around the edge here against Sizer and Denchi, doing a great job of staying alive. There's the small water that comes out, but Chosen Pain actually managed to get the decap off. That's going to be enough to solidify the victory for his team. It looks like 55 HP Monks is going to take this into Game 3 versus TCG, making sure that Chosen Pain gets that 2-cap, and now they're going to win. It's only 10 seconds away, and they're going to go into Game 3, as we just said.
This has been a great semifinal match. This really has. Both teams have given us some high-level play there. This time it just goes to 55 hit monks as they were able to keep those late pushes to Corey back. They were able to hold Corey despite heavy pressure coming out from TCG there, protecting that node for themselves, keeping that 2-cap after they had secured Graveyard, just doing enough to win that game. Absolutely fantastic. So we're going to go into a Game 3 on Battle of Kylo now. What comp do you think does Battle of Kylo really favor here? Do you like the NG on Battle of Kylo, or do you like the Warrior? Because I guess that's the real difference between 55 hit monks comp right now and TCG.
You know, I'm going to favor the NG, and the reason is the CC that it provides with the crate, the knockback on the rifle, everything that it has, the block as well. It favors being able to stand on a point, especially under heavy treb fire. I know that both teams are probably going to look to get someone on the treb. I believe that Helseth is going to do the treb for Team TCG. We saw it in WTS. We saw him do it even before WTS. You know, there's going to be a lot of pressure on that midpoint on Clock Tower. So it's going to be interesting to see how the NG rotates versus the Warrior, because like you said, other than that, the team comps are essentially the same thing. So
yeah, and you know, I think in 1v1 situations, Chosen Pain has gotten the better of Sizer just because of the panic strike. He's able to hit his burst a lot harder.
Plus the blind field.
Plus the blind field as well. So, you know, that's going to be, that's another small difference. Yeah, they're both thieves, but, you know, Chosen Pain has that panic strike build that's just able to focus down targets a little bit better. You know, Sizer has a lot of evades going for his favor. But 55 HP monks, it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to take it to the WTS representative for EU here in the semifinal match in our Game 3, or is TCG going to be able to take this out? So let's go ahead and jump into the map, and we'll explain the mechanics for you guys. As Hirix was mentioning earlier, there is a trebuchet that both teams have that will deal a massive amount of damage and CC for the team that is using that. It's a pretty big difference maker when it comes to the impact that it can have on a fight. So if the rival team is using that trebuchet, you want to send somebody over with a lot of damage to take out that trebuchet quickly. It can be destroyed, but once it's been destroyed, a repair kit will spawn, and if you take that repair kit back to the trebuchet, you will be able to repair it and reuse that trebuchet for your team. So it's going to be interesting to see how the teams choose to use the trebuchet in this map. Other than that, it's kind of similar to the standard conquest mode maps that we've already seen, as you've got a close node for both teams and then a mid node. Here it is the clock tower, where it's a more vertical point, so it favors classes like Thieves and Mesmers that are able to blink up there quickly and get some vertical movement. So you're going to see Lord Helseth and Sizer and Chosen Pain using a lot of blinks to move up to the clock tower as quickly as they possibly can and surprise members of the rival team to put down some burst.
And we're getting information now about the other potential candidate for the finals match. It's between Pizza with Nutella and Cheese Mode. Right now we're on Game 3. Pizza took the first map, CM taking the second. We're on Game 3 for that match as well. So the finals is going to be a really hyped match, in my opinion, because both games are going into Game 3. Both teams that are going into it really deserve it. They've been fighting all day for this, you know. So it's going to be interesting seeing what happens in this game first, and then seeing who goes on to fight the winner of the game of Pizza with Nutella versus Cheese Mode.
Yeah, so we will let you guys know who won the Cheese Mode Pizza with Nutella semifinal match as quickly as we possibly can. Or you can go over to ESL's website and check out the brackets and find out yourself once they are updated. But we will try, when we get live information on how that match has turned out, we will try to update you guys as that match progresses. But we're going to stick here with 55 HP Monks and TCG and see who is going to go on to the finals, who's going to have a chance to play for 400 euros here in the finals match. Both teams have come out strong. Both teams have won a game, so it's going to come down to this final map. And it looks like a member of TCG hasn't gotten in yet or switched. He accidentally switched. He needs to get back onto the right team. There we go. And so we're just waiting for both teams to ready up here. I don't anticipate any build changes because, again, they're both playing just sort of the builds that they've become familiar with and just sort of meta builds right now. You know what? Do you want to talk about this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We'll go ahead and call the splits then, as they have readied up.
We do actually have a change, though. Helseth is dropping the Sword Torch and moving back to his Bifrost, his staff there. So he's going to be swapping a little bit more to a standard, kind of what Misha is running as well.
Yeah, I think he's doing that to get that vertical blink there, that extra blink that he can blink up on top of the clock tower, as we've seen him do. You know, the map awareness that Lord Helseth shows is just absolutely fantastic all the time. We see him doing incredible things here with his staff. So yeah, that's not a surprising change to for me. But we see here TCG has sent 2 members to guarantee the cap onto the Mansion node. Tage is going to rotate into mid, though, where we're going to see the first big team fight develop here. Scarlet and it looks like the Guardian for 55 HP Monks has decided to go mid. They're facing off right now against Rom and Tage. We've seen Rom and Tage be very tanky on nodes together. They support each other very well with all of that Condi clear that comes out from their shouts. So, you know, they're going to be able to stay tanky for quite some time. Scarlet is going to try to get into a better position or rotate over to the Treb. Yep, he's rotating over to the Treb because Helseth has decided to jump on that right away. That's a very important decision for Scarlet to do. He's going to have to take that Treb out. He cannot let Lord Helseth just free cast with that thing. Helseth right away smartly does not fight for the Trebuchet. That's a mistake that I see a lot of new players make. He's going to try to blink over to mid and try to help his teammates there, deal some extra damage. He's right away going to get on the Guardian there for 55 HP Monks, try to bring him down in a hurry, but we haven't seen too much pain come out onto him. He hasn't been put into the downstate yet.
And actually, 2 members of the red team just tried to put some damage down on Helseth, and actually Eternia accidentally dodged off of the ramp, and he was all the way down the ground. And then actually what happened was Helseth Illusionary Wave, Greatsword 5 knockback, Chosen Pain right off the side as well. So they had to walk all the way back up onto Clock Tower with Helseth getting that lucky fall from Eternia and that great pushback onto Chosen Pain.
Oh man, and you know, we saw at the same time 2 members from 55 HP Monks try to jump on Denchi as well. Denchi was able to mitigate that damage and just sort of stay alive off of point. Neither team really has gained an advantage here on mid. Tage and Eternia have been able to sit there and bunk that point for their team. As we see in the PIP, some action has gone on the side there. Eternia blinks up to the top of the clock tower from mid. He's able to do that with his teleport. He's going to get back onto the point where he's going to get some support from his Guardian, but man, blue team is really sticking to him hard. They're really trying to bring him down now, as they know if they take out Eternia, they're going to remove a lot of healing from that midpoint. It could be enough to swing this fight into their favor, as Eternia has been forced to get fully off the point. But no, Sizer was brought into the downstate. They're able to res him pretty quickly, though. Denchi is also going to be able to jump right on the Guardian and Chosen Pain for 55 HP Monks. Chosen Pain close to going into the downstate. Sizer, though, did go into the downstate again. Denchi and Tage are able to bring him right back up. So far, a great teamwork coming out from TCG, forcing Eternia to get off the point really helped them here, as now they've brought the Guardian for 55 HP Monks into the downstate. He's going to be stomped out, and it looks like, again, this early advantage is going to go in favor of TCG, as it's just Eternia left on the point. Though I think Denchi needs to make a decision who he's going for. It looks like he's going to go for Misha, as Misha has arrived onto the clock tower. Misha trying, and he jumped off of the clock tower now, so it's to be interesting to see where Denshi decides to head, as now he's left Tage in a 2v1 against Eternia and Misha. Misha's going to be able to do a lot of burst damage. Sizer's going to have to get on him quickly or hop on Eternia instead. Instead, it looks like Sizer hasn't picked a target, hasn't jumped on anybody. There he goes. He's on to Eternia now. Tage getting off the point for some heals. Denshi has gotten back into this fight, so he's hopped back onto the midpoint here. Neither team, though, able to gain an advantage. There's only a 6-point difference between the two of them now. Really just the difference of maybe 1 or 2 kills there to get back into this game. So really, we're seeing, again, high-level play from both of these teams, as it looks like Misha has gone for the back cap, though. That's absolutely fantastic for 55 HP Monks, as they're able to decap Mansion. That's going to force a member of the blue team to come back and try to recap that point. Misha's going to take the 1v1, go ahead and jump into that. I believe that's Rom over there fighting against him. So Rom is going to try to keep that fight going for his teammates there, but that might actually be in favor of Misha. If Misha can just kite off point and deal some big damage onto Rom, that could help the 55 HP Monks secure that point as well and take a lead. But because that point is neutral right now, 55 HP Monks has the windmill, so they're slowly building up their lead. TCG was able to recap the point, as it looks like Misha backed off of Mansion. But that's a big decap coming out from Misha there in the early stages, giving his team the lead.
Yeah, and Denshi is forced off point here, just trying to get a little bit of breathing room so he can come back in with a lot of force here. He's going to jump right on top of the Guardian for 55 HP Monks, and the Moa actually comes out, forcing him right off the point there, and he's going to have to walk back up, and that is the Guardian that was jumped on just as we saw before. And he's going to be moving back up now to support his team. He's got most of his cooldowns ready, so we're going to have to see how this fight develops. Now with Eternia under a little bit of pressure, but he's in water attunement right now, and there we go. We actually see a decap coming out on Windmill. Sizer moved over quickly and actually got that decap off. He's going to move off with Denshi moving in now to get the 1v1 versus Scarlets, and now it's going to be a 1v1 between the two of them.
You know, that's a high-level play right there. You don't want Sizer stuck in a 1v1 against an engineer. Instead, you put Denshi over there, too. That frees up Sizer to go back into mid and try to burst somebody down, or he can just intercept the next player that tries to rotate over on Windmill. That's just high-level play coming out from TCG. Misha, though, jumps on Sizer right there, brings him into the down state. Denshi's going to smartly back off that point, as that point's not really worth fighting for at this point. You've gained back the lead. You've got a 2v1 situation if you don't get Sizer up, and you don't want to eat a lot of cleave there. So that's a great decision by Denshi. Denshi's going to go back into mid, where the Guardian for 55 HP Monks has been brought down to quarter health there. Let's see if they're able to bring him down with enough cleave, or are they going to hop onto one of the damage dealers instead for 55 HP Monks, as it looks like the Guardian has been able to heal himself back up. But there looks like Lord Helseth is really trying to put a lot of damage on that Guardian right now to try to force some cooldowns to be used. But with Eternia and the Guardian for 55 HP Monks both standing on the point, there's going to be a lot of sustain for 55 HP Monks. But it looks like a member of the red team has started to use the Trebuchet. That could be a difference maker here in that fight. Somebody from the blue team is going to have to slide over there and try to take that out. As we also see Chosen Pain sliding over to the Mansion. He's going to go for a decap here. So that's going to swing momentum back in favor of 55 HP Monks here in the mid stages of the game. Chosen Pain is going to smartly just back off the point, but that decap is going to be enough to bring his team back to at least a tie, possibly even the lead here. So it's going to take a while for Rom to recap that point. So great play there by Chosen Pain, sensing a decap was open and getting that for his team there, swinging the game back in favor of 55 HP Monks, but only slightly, as again, we only have a 4-point difference right now. A single kill is going to give TCG back the lead if they're able to do so. So again, nobody has been able to gain the upper hand in this mid fight. Nobody has had a 2-cap all game, and we're already at 200 points here.
And you know, I've been watching Helseth, and we actually can see him right now. He just popped his portal here. He's going to try to make some plays for his team. But what actually happened is he has not been using his portal too often this game, actually. He's not really using that to create favorable favorable fights for his team to 5v4s, those 2v1s, those 3v2s. He hasn't been able to really have an opportunity to do that because the fight has mostly been at midpoint. So now he has an opportunity. He's got his portal out, but unfortunately no team members to set up for that situation. So looking over at midpoint now, we've got Eternia and Lissy both on the midpoint, just swapping in and out, back and forth, making sure that the sustain on Clock Tower is there so that neither team has an opportunity to get that point, stalemating this match 228 to 227 right now with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, and it looks like there was a brief fight going over on the windmill, but 55 HP Monks was able to handle that no problem. So again, a MOA is going to come out on one of the members of 55 HP Monks, and again, the Treb is being used, but that hasn't seemed to make much of a difference. In fact, you know, TCG hasn't sent anybody over there yet. They're just sort of okay with the Treb being used. I'm not sure if that's a smart decision. That could come into a factor here. We also see Chosen Pain has gone back over to the mansion and decapped it once more for the red team. So TCG has lost its node again. That once again forces Rom to go off point, to go back over to the windmill and try to fight it. Back over to the mansion to try to fight that 1v1 against Chosen Pain. This time Chosen Pain has chosen to stick it out, and they are going to fight that 1v1. The Trebuchet, though, just not really making a difference here in the mid-fight. As they're using it, Misha's using the Treb, but I really don't see much of a difference being made there. Sizer did slide over to try to, it looked like Lord Helseth did try to slide over to the windmill to decap it, but 55 HP Monks rotated over there to prevent it. So really the big fight here is on Mansion, as 55 HP Monks, it looks like, is just going to give up trying to full cap the clock tower as they've slid Eternia over to support onto this Mansion fight, but it's left Rom in just a 1v1 with Eternia, as it looks like Chosen Pain has had to go back out, back off of this fight. Lord Helseth has been put in the downstate, though. So has Sizer, so that is two major losses for TCG, with both of them being on respawn. That's going to take out a lot of their burst damage for this next couple of seconds. So if you're 55 HP Monks, you want to secure a node, secure a second node here, and try to pull away as quickly as possible.
And yeah, the thing about this fight that's happening right now on our screen, Eternia versus Rom, the thing is that is so close to blue spawn point that Helseth is going to be able to move on over and help out and getting Eternia pushed off, and Eternia then smartly moves off. So looking at keep here, we actually saw Sizer sort of for just a couple of seconds there get booted out of the match because of some lag he was having, but he's back now, didn't lose too much ground on that, but that's unfortunate since this is such a close game right now that he could have potentially helped out his team in getting that Mansion cap a little bit sooner. Looking over at Chosen Pain here, and it looks like Chosen Pain is going to be moving to try to support Scarlets versus Denchi and Helseth. And Helseth and Denchi now making moves against Scarlets, but not quickly enough. The block comes out from Scarlets, making a great use of that block there on the shield. And actually, Chosen actually became the new target, and Chosen took a lot of damage, and he has to pop all of his cooldowns just to get out of that. So it's looking good now for TCG, with Sizer moving in now as well. Chosen out of cooldowns here. He's just going to have to try to camp shortbow and put some pressure down on Sizer just to kind of stay in the periphery of this fight here. But the portal comes out now, and it looks like Helseth is moving out of this fight to try to put some pressure down at mid, but then the counter portal comes out from Misha. Looking at mid right now, looking at Clock Tower, the counter portal comes out, and now everybody is in on this mid fight again, but the 2-cap is happening right now with Eternia on this point. There's not going to be too much of an opportunity for them to get him off of that, as well as the Guardian from 55 HP Monks as well. So this is going to now, unless a lot of significant changes happen with this, now also Chosen Pain smartly moving over to Mansion and getting that decap. 2-cap happening in favor of 55 HP Monks right now. Chosen Pain doing a great job of pressuring Tage so that he can't lose that point, hold that decap for as long as he possibly can, because now 55 HP Monks is at 414 points with only 2 minutes left in the game. Sizer rotating over to try to support that, but they're going to hold off just long enough now with that decap. Chosen Pain moving back in, and they're going to be able to hold those 2 nodes. So let's look over at the other fight here on the other node at Windmill.
Yeah, looking over here at Windmill, Rom has taken a lot of damage. He's down at almost quarter health here. As Misha was targeting him, he switched over to Lord Helseth, who had slid over to try to help, but it looks like Helseth is going to back out of that fight. As they're just not going to gain the upper hand here. TCG really going into the late stages of this game. They're going to have to gain a point soon. They're going to have to get a decap. Otherwise, they're going to lose this. It's 452 already to 287. Only a minute and 44 seconds left. This is not looking good for TCG. We might see the EU representative for WTS be knocked out of this ESL Cup in the same week. So in the same week that they lost in the finals of WTS, they're going to lose here, it looks like, in the semifinals if they're not able to gain 2 decaps quickly enough and get back into this game here. Again, only a minute and 23 seconds left now.
Yeah,
it's 4-8, 4-9.
Out.
Yeah, this game is over. 55 HP Monks is moving on to the finals of the ESL Go4Cup as they knock out the EU representative in the WTS finals 2-1. Great play by both teams. Absolutely fantastic matches. But man, 55 HP Monks was just able to gain the advantage there in the final moments of that last game and win it. I mean, just great play coming out for them. The questions have to be asked now. What's next for TCG? You know, they've had 2 tough losses.